Well, hello. Patricia here, welcoming you to the Poetry Pcast. This is a special week, and to mark it, there are going to be 2 podcasts, one today and one at the weekend. Of course, if you're coming late to the party, welcome to where all the cool kids get their haiku. You will just see episodes 9 and 10. C'est la vie. Hope you enjoy them. Today, there are 2 themes to the podcast. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to guess. Do take that guess and tell me what it is on the socials. X, Blue Sky and Instagram is where you'll find me. And of course, tag me or I'm not going to see it. Before we get to the poetry, I've got a little update for you about the Benin bronzes. If you haven't listened to episode 5 of this series, then you're going to be wondering what on earth I'm talking about and what these bronzes have to do with haiku. So nip back and have a listen. Anyway, I read a couple of weeks ago that the Netherlands are returning bronzes to Benin, or at least to Nigeria. To quote from a BBC report, link in the show notes, the return of the 119 artefacts is the largest repatriation of Benin antiquities. So spoke the Director General of Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments. And I think it's a good thing that they're seemingly returning them to the Commission for Museums and Monuments. Surely that means they'll be available for the public to view, whether that public's from Nigeria or elsewhere. What do you think? So poetry, more specifically haiku. And to warn you, that's not the theme. That's a bit too obvious. No prizes for guessing that. In fact, no prizes for guessing anything correctly at all. Just my undying admiration and gratitude for listening all the way through and sending me a message on social media. Shall we have a listen? And you can start thinking what my themes are. Waking the household, an unknown winter bird repeats its call. Waking the household, an unknown winter bird repeats its call. Richard Tice, from the Poetry P Journal in summer 2021. Moonrise, also lost in tonight's snow. Moonrise, also lost in tonight's snow. That's by Ben Garr from Blithe Spirit 33.1. Pond ice, the duck's landing less than perfect. Pond ice, the duck's landing less than perfect. Brian Rickett from Presence issue 80. If anyone's seen me trying to skate, it would put them in mind of that poem. Crackling fire, the warm fragrance of seasoned pine. Crackling fire, the warm fragrance of seasoned pine. David He from Presence, issue 80. Dead of winter, duvet deployment, 3-layer night. Dead of winter, duvet deployment, 3-layer night. Richard Bailey, from the Poetry P Journal, summer 2021. And here's something a little whimsical. Zoo carousel, snow on the saddles of endangered species. Zoo carousel. Snow on the saddles of endangered species. Randy Brooks. Presents, issue 80. Night descending. Snowlight leaves the hill, one sledge at a time. Night descending. Snowlight leaves the hill, one sledge at a time. Richard Tyndall. Presents, issue 78. I don't ski anymore, but that reminds me of taking the last run down as the daylight is leaving the slopes. There's something very special about that. Candlelight. An ice storm blows us back 2 centuries. Candlelight. An ice storm blows us back 2 centuries. Aaron Rothschild. Presents, issue 78. I'm sure I came this way, retracing my melting footsteps. I'm sure I came this way, retracing my melting footsteps. Ian Speed. Poetry P Journal 1/23. Closing in on the first crocus, winter sun. Closing in on the first crocus, winter sun. David Jacobs. Presents, issue 78. Cold rain, we miss another sunrise. Cold rain, we miss another sunrise. Richard Tice. Poetry P Journal 1/23. It was a little podcast this time, but I do have something special to close out. I got Sean O'Connor to test something out for me and record his haiku. Might be a new feature coming at Poetry P, but there's a little more experimentation needed. Don't forget to message me about today's theme, and just as important, there's a new video prompt out over on the YouTube channel. Have a look and leave your poems in the comments for Linda to read, please. Thanks so much for coming along and joining me today. Don't forget there's another podcast in a few days. So until we meet again, keep writing. And now, here's Sean reading his poem from Blithe Spirit 33.1.
Snow in the yard. On the stonecutter's bench, a film of dust. Snow in the yard. On the stonecutter's bench, a film of dust.
Ciao!